Getting my stuff together here. Welcome. It's Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin', coming to you at midnight. I'm still going to call this Sunday, October 27th. Oh, I've been putzing for the last, I don't know, hour and a half maybe, getting my ideas together. Um, just trying to figure out what we can create tonight. And I thought that hopefully we'll get some better ideas than what I had last night. So let me just get my device kind of connected here. It looks like I've got some sound. That way I can see if anybody's joining me live. I will try to keep up with the comments as they come in. So if you're joining me live, feel free to say hello. Let me know where you're joining from if you've not been here before. Or even if you have been here before, you could always tell me where you're from because sometimes I forget. Hello, Anne. How are you? Coming to me from Australia. So it's got to be, yeah, afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah, I should have just read your note, right? I'm trying to do the time conversion because I think you're 12 or 13 hours ahead of me in parts of Australia. Hello, Tanya. How are you? We're just getting rolling. So hopefully you got notification. Anne, have you been here before? I'm trying to think if I've seen your name pop up here before. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Tanya. So last night we spent a lot of time trying to get one card done. That was kind of a struggle. So tonight, hopefully we'll do a little bit better. I had a few things kind of worked out ahead of time. Quick announcement, this join offer is amazing. Really amazing. For $35, you can pick out 100 in the US. You can pick out $125 worth of product. You'll get free shipping. So all you have to pay is your $35 plus tax, and you will get your $125 worth of goodies. And you'll get a free paper pumpkin kit. So you can see I'm kind of like trying to think of things that I want to add in here. So once you've joined, if you're not already, so Tanya, you just recently joined? That's awesome. Hello, Donna. Welcome. You haven't been here for a few days. So this joint offer is awesome. I'm glad you were able to take advantage of it, Tanya, and hopefully whoever you've hooked up with there in New Zealand has shared with you some of the benefits of joining even after you've taken your starter kit. You know, you get an ongoing discount and access to products ahead of everybody and all of that. So this is a really cool deal. If you've not taken advantage of it yet, think about it. And if you're not in the United States, find somebody in your market. Hopefully Stampin' Up! Is where you are. Unfortunately, there are a lot of countries that Stampin' Up! Is not able to set up demonstratorships yet. So, yeah. So, that is my one big announcement. Now, I know I haven't, for the last, I don't know, maybe the last week or so, I have not shared this 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. I did a whole set of 12 days, basically, we made projects with this, right? This is a really interesting kit. You would think that it is a Christmas kit. It is not. It's an all-occasion kit. It is designed, excuse me, it is designed to kind of be like a Christmas gift. You know, when you have the Advent calendars during December where every little pocket has candy in it. well, I made a whole list of all of the things in every door. So there are dies that come with it. There were 2 sets of dies. So these floral images were 1 set of dies, and these stamp images, or shapes rather, were another set. There's embellishments and designer series paper and decorative masks and glitter glue and memory and more cards. There's just a ton of stuff. Hello, staff. Welcome. So this is really a cool kit. And once you've joined, of course, you get a discount on this. So there's that too. But this is a really good gift. One of my gals bought 3 of them, 1 for herself and then 2 to gift. And she's going to have like a little get together with her people once they have them. So that's one of the new products that's coming through. And then we've had 3 kits that released the first part of October. I think they are all still sold out. They were so adorable. They've sold out, but I think they're due. Saturday is the 1st. I think they're due in by next Monday. They're expecting some of those to come in, so that'll be cool. So last night, in a roundabout sort of way, we got this card done. All right. I had done some stamping, and this is with the Ornamental Christmas bundle that I had out yesterday. I had stamped these in just Memento Black. Wasn't really thrilled with them. I stamped 5 of them. And then we stamped, actually I added a little ink blending to that one. I wasn't really thrilled with those. Hey, Juju. And then we did some in gold embossing, and I liked those better. And then I fussy cut a couple of them, and I liked those even better. So it just wasn't working out. And then I had also tried to kind of make our own DSP basically with a sentiment, and that got kind of wonky, and I wasn't really happy with that. But I did try it again today, and this one I think turned out a little bit better. So that was just with the sentiment from here, repeating it on down, and then making my rose with this. So we might do something with that later, but that's one of the things I was playing with earlier today. So let me get this one out of the way and a couple of other things out of the way. So I did kind of play with a few things before I came live, so that hopefully we wouldn't have that slow moving train like I had last night. I don't know what the deal was. I think it was just I was so tired from doing all the stuff with our granddaughter. And she went home today, late this afternoon, around supper time she went home. But she'll be back on Wednesday. So we'll have her for a couple more days. So I pulled out, where did I put it now? I pulled out the embossing folder. Oh, here it is. This Christmas words collage. I know, I'm going to blame the poor kid because we made Halloween treats for her class all afternoon. Well, she started, and then Papa took her to the pumpkin farm. So I had some quiet time this afternoon, and I finished all of her treats for school. So I am blaming that poor little kid. She'd laugh. But she was tired yesterday and today too. She could hardly stay awake going home to get to her mom's. So anyway, it's been a while since I've used this. When I first got this, I know we were playing around with some different things to do with this. And there are dies with it as well. So, I mean, I tried just embossing. I tried embossing and cutting, and some of the words. I'm reading Steph's last note here, but that's to Juju, so maybe that's why I don't understand it. So anyway, we played around a little with that, but I don't think I made a card that was just with the plain embossing. I don't remember. If I did, I just don't remember. So I did ink up just the embossing folder without using the dies. Oh, Steph, if you're apologizing to me, don't. Talk amongst yourselves all you want. Just try to keep it kind of clean, I guess. Of course, it's late. Anybody, there should not be any kids watching this, but you never know. Salah's daughter, Amanda, might watch when she goes to school. So, we probably should keep it kind of clean. So anyway, I did put some ink. I inked up the embossing folder just very lightly on the front. So the side that has the embossing, or the logo. Whew, I'm distracted tonight because I'm thinking of all these things I have to do this week. And I need to just clear my head and focus here. So the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo on it is a side that I lightly just put some ink on. I didn't want to press it in because I didn't want any of the ink in these void spaces. And I did pretty good this time. I think I kind of messed it up back when I first got it because I wasn't very patient. So I am thinking, not tonight, but another night, I'm going to cut this down a little bit and I'm going to use it with some of the velvet specialty. It's not really paper. I mean, it's paper with velvet on it, so I guess maybe it is paper. But I'm thinking that might make a fun card. So I have that set off to the side to do another time. So tonight, I did emboss my piece ahead of time. And what I thought I would do is die cut this circle in here and make kind of an opening for our sentiment, to put our sentiment here. So this is just going to be a very simple card, and I'm going to use these couple of leftover trees and probably put a bow with this beautiful shiny ribbon. This is the new red ribbon. So it's shimmery on both sides, but more so on what I will say is the front. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get my Bossy Bessie out here. And we're going to go ahead and cut this first layer. And hopefully I will get it centered. We'll get some plates. So what did everybody do for their weekend? Anything fun, relaxing, exciting? So, and I'm going to put this so it's more to the top than to the bottom, and hopefully I'll have it kind of centered here. Hopefully it'll be close. I could measure it, but I don't usually do that. I usually just eyeball it. Juju, you crafted and crafted. Oh, you did lives with friends? Your son is 20. Do you only have the one son? Is that the son that's in the military? You did not clean the craft room. So this is something that we can keep and make another card out of that later. And coincidentally, that whole word peace and love is in here. So that might make a really cute card sentiment. I have the wreath embossing folder, but I have not used it yet. Okay, so are they all sons? 32, 20, and 19. All right, so I think we can get this out of the way. And so this is my thick basic white, 8.5 by 5.5. You know the drill. I always do two at the same time. I've already done my second one. So I take my full piece of cardstock. I score it first. These are scored at 4 1/4, and then I cut it once at 5.5, and then I have my 2 card bases. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and burnish this right away. How did you like that embossing folder, Donna? Now this, we're going to kind of set here. And actually, I think what I'm going to do, if we do this, oh, we'll have lots of room. All right, I'm going to lay this down because I think I'm going to end up putting this up on dimensionals. And I'm going to ink this up with red. I think that's all stamped. And let's get this so it's pretty centered. That should work. And we're going to put our Merry Christmas right there, off center, I think. But that's okay because I'm going to have a couple of trees on there. And I'm just holding this on here for a few seconds so the ink can sink in. And let's go ahead and close up this red so I don't make a mess. And we'll put some dimensionals on here. You've been thinking about making a punch template, huh? Now, who was it yesterday? Was it Tanya that said you can't do that? I don't remember who was saying. Oh, Bonnie, right. I go in spurts. I'm really good about getting them done every once in a while, and then I just kind of get behind on them, and then I end up missing out on some. But they are really handy to have. Do you have templates for a lot of other things? Is that why? Hello, Susan. These are my newer snips. I'm not going to use these on my dimensionals. Just because I want to keep them pristine a little bit longer, since Stampin' Up! Is not selling those snips anymore. I want to keep my brand new ones. I had a couple of pairs available for sale, and now I don't want to sell them. Because I'm a little selfish with the good tools. All right, I guess I'll put one more on. That seems like a lot of dimensionals, but it's really not that bad, I hope. Do you have 6 now, Juju, or 5? Because when I looked earlier, there were 5. And I thought I had sent you a text congratulating you, but maybe I only thought I did. I'll have to go look now. Okay, so I'm seeing 5. I thought I had sent you a message on that last one, but maybe not if I didn't. Hey, congrats on having 5. The more the merrier, right? Now the kicker will be placed in their first order if they're going to continue past just napping the kits, which is fine. I mean, Stampin' Up! Knows people are going to do that. But when my new people place their first orders, they will get a little gift from me. And they have to place their orders through themselves. So, okay, and when you count you, that's 6, yes. You have an awesome team. There are a lot of people, you're lucky that you have a lot of friends. There are many demonstrators that struggle to get even one person to join their team. And you were going bam, 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 bam. I'm like, go Juju. All right, so there's that. Now this, let's get these cleaned up out of here so I can put this away. Riley loves cleaning out the dies like this. There's some little polka dots in here that don't want to come out. It's one way to get rid of a little bit of pent-up energy, right? Just start slamming stuff around. Yeah, it's been an interesting weekend. I think I might have mentioned yesterday my dad stopped by, and that's always kind of a surprise. You know, what are we going to talk about today? So, yes, Juju, it is a very good deal. A very good deal. And I'm assuming that your gals, I know I shouldn't assume, you know what they say about people that assume, but I'm guessing that aside from like Diana, everybody maybe has gotten their kits. I think kits, maybe not. I'm sorry, I'm struggling to get these in here. There we go. I don't know what I'm thinking. All right. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. All right, so here's these gold trees, and we're just going to put these kind of on the side here. I was thinking I should have probably moved that Merry Christmas over a little bit more. Maybe I'll put these down here instead. That might look better. I think that looks better that way. And then we'll put a nice little bow on here with this red. Okay, so not everybody has them yet. And I'm going to move this out of the way because I need to clean that. So one of my other gals she got her recruit. And that's actually her first one. And she has enough sales that she actually promoted to another level. So she has some extra benefits now for being there, and you know, it's just kind of a little bump up sort of thing. So we all in the community benefits. So I think I'm gonna do a double bow maybe on this. We'll see how it looks. Yeah, and I don't know if last time I looked, you were not in my a little bit more Facebook group for my team. That's the one that I mean, you had sent me that Facebook friend request, and I don't know what happened to it. I thought I was clicking into it and it went away, so I don't know what happened to it. All right, let me get my ribbon scissors. That looks pretty as a double bow, and that's just going to go there, and we're going to put some embellishments on this. Kind of. I used to use Avon product actually. But yes, the majority of the people that join Stampin' Up! Are what we call hobbyists. They buy basically for themselves. They get a discount when they're a hobbyist. And they're just like serious crafters, you know. A lot of them donate cards to different causes in that. I'm going to put this dimensional kind of off on the side here so it holds it up. That'd be awesome, Juju. I mean, we can message back and forth, but I don't know what happened to that friend request because I can't get you on my Facebook page for my team, and I can't get you on my uplines page. And I don't know if you did the demonstrator plan in place, but there's all kinds of stuff that's just for those that have joined. Do you think it would look bad if I cover up the C a little bit for Christmas, or should I keep this down low? And do I need to zoom in a little bit maybe? Sometimes I forget to do that. Okay, so you did get on the other one? Okay. All right, so let's put another dimensional here. And then we'll put some more glue down here. Now, I've been kind of, when I was crafting earlier with Riley's things, I have gotten to where I really like letting this liquid glue set and get clear before I put it on my projects, because then you can even like peel it off a little bit if it's in the wrong place and it's not quite as messy. So I won't do that today because I want to get these things put together, but I've been doing that more and more. I'm actually going to move this over so it's by the H. Then we'll still see the Christmas. All right, get that off of there. And then we're going to put our pretty bow on here. And I think I'm going to use some mini dimensionals on it this time. I don't usually do that. Oh, Donnie, you've been busy. So you ladies, if you want to share your projects with some of the regulars that are here, my Facebook page, and I get behind, and I'm behind now. For a while I was really good about posting the projects every day, and then stuff happens and then I get behind and then I have to get caught up again. But and I've been busy too with people joining my team, and there's questions, you know, a lot of times I'll have questions for things. So you can find a thread with like a card that I've posted, and if you're posting something similar, or you know, maybe part of the conversation from when we did that one, then oh, you're not on Facebook, Donna. Okay, well then never mind, that won't work. Of course, you could always email me your projects and I could put them on there and give you credit if you wanted people to see. This glue dot is not working for this flower or for this bow. So I'm going to try a different technique. So I'm going to just set these dimensionals inside the circle on the white part. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this little glue dot booger down here. And then we'll make another one for the other tail. Can followers post things on an Instagram post or just comments? I don't use Instagram a whole lot. I mean, I do some, but I like to see what other people do too. And I mean, on my team pages, sometimes the gals are good about adding pictures of what they've made. But I think the important part is for us to all share our creativity. And there are some people like, you know, Juju, you do stuff most every day, right? With your live. Most of my gals do not. They're not running it as a business. I've got 2 that are doing it as a business, and the rest of my team is basically just hobbyists. So they don't do lives. They don't actively try to sell product. Now these I just colored with alcohol blends. So I'm just going to add a bunch of these. And I think because it's Christmas, I think we need a lot. So there's 3, 4, 5 for sure. Is 5 enough, do you think? Well, people can post on your YouTube channel if you have the setting for community turned on. And there are some other considerations for that, and I have not turned that on because I don't really want to kind of lose control of some of the content, and I don't know enough about it to just jump in. So are 5 enough, or should I put a couple? Maybe I should put a couple in there. That wouldn't be too many, would it? Do you think that's too many? Too much glitz? So there's a very simple card, and it did not take us an hour and a half like last night. I just didn't want another last night. But I told you I was falling asleep reading Riley her book. Whoops. Sorry, child. Never too much bling. All right, I was hoping you'd say that, Juju. All right, so there's card number 1. Woohoo. All right. Now, I'm just going to set that over here and let me... What do I do with the box for my glue dots? I don't know, it's here somewhere. All right. So the next one then is, I've got these gold embossed. Thank you, Staff. And Donna, thank you. Sometimes the simple cards are just easier. I have a tendency to overthink things, which is what I was doing last night. It was a slow train out of here. So anyway, these are the ones that I gold embossed last night. I did 5 of them. So here's 2 of them that I fussy cut. These 3, I don't think I'm going to fussy cut, but you guys can decide if I need to. So I am bringing in, I think we could change this, thick basic white again. And to go with this gold theme, in my head last night we were doing something like this, and I had like strips of, well, like this. We had strips of the designer series paper that I kind of put across there like a belt to the card under the trees, and it just wasn't, nobody was feeling it. So we just kind of scrapped that, and that's how I came to this. I just started stamping out the paper. It's like, I got to get a card done. So that's how that one came to be. It was a struggle bus. So anyway, these are left over from last night. So what I did earlier is I'm using just a whole bunch of different stuff tonight. I used the branching out dies, and I used the smallest frame die here, this small one here. And you can see I've got some green pieces here with this die as well. I didn't use any of the sentiments or any of the image stamps on there. I just used that framing die. So I thought we could put one of these under each of the trees because the trees are embossed with gold. Hopefully you can kind of see that. There you go. You can, the trees, oh, I should turn on my other light. That sometimes helps. So you can see the trees are embossed. So they're bright gold as well. So if we put these on here, they are going to fill up the front of this card with just a very little space, either between or on the edge, okay? And I'm gonna try to get them all straight, not cockeyed, all right? And then I figured we could put just this wishing you peace and joy, which is from this. This is where the Merry Christmas sentiment was from tonight and last night's card. This Christmas tree is from here. And then we use some of these too on other ones. So I have those there. Okay. Now we could leave this just plain and simple. And I thought I would emboss this, excuse me, with black on white so that it just stands out better than our Memento black. Because that's why I didn't like these, because they were, to me, they were just too dull. All right, I want something a little more flashy, I guess. I don't know. But I also thought we could put some color in here by weaving this ribbon on each of those, under each of the trees. So that would bring us some color, that little pop of color. And then with the black embossed greeting, We could put that probably right across there. And then a bunch of the rhinestones. What do you think? Yes? Or do you think we need a different color card base? And we'd have to do basically the whole base because doing a layer is going to extend too far unless I did just a stripe layer with just a little bit of white. What do you think? And how I'm gonna put this ribbon in here is I've got these hole punch assortment. And I thought I would just punch a slot on each of these so that the ribbon could go under for part of it and then over and under and over and under. Does that make sense? So that it would be stable on there without having to use a lot of glue. And then we could tuck it. It is not bronze, it's gold. This is the gold. Let me get, where did I put it? There we go. Oops. So I'm almost out of the gold. And here is, they might call it copper. Yeah. So this is the tungsten and then there's copper. So this is the gold. Can you see the difference, hopefully? So gold, bronze, and tungsten. The tungsten is kind of a bluish gray. But this is definitely the gold. Okay, things are falling. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm just going to cut this off so that I can keep that a little flatter. And I did not make a ribbon tamer for this yet. And let's, do we think we need a different color under this or should we just do white, gold, and red? Just kind of a classic, simple card. So I think what I'll do at this point is I'll start making just some little lines where I want my ribbon slot to go, because I want them all to be the same. So if I line this up there, this one, we'll go in. If we go in 3/8 of an inch, that would work. And I'm just going to put a little dot there and I'll try to get it centered as best I can. Usually I don't measure. Usually I eyeball things. But I kind of want this to be uniform. And I'll have to go up. So let's just see how this one looks. I think it's the white on the trees. Steph, you're leaving. We'll see you next time. Thanks for popping in. Are you trying to tell me, Juju, that I need to fussy cut? And let's... I'm trying to see, my little pencil mark is right there. Oh, I get it. So is your sister still with you or is she gone home now? Not that it's any of my business, and you're still exhausted, so I get it. And then I'm just going to pop these up on top of each other and hopefully find the previous spot. That way they're all going to be the same. Well, I hope you had a good visit with your sister. Have a good rest. All right, that'll work. All right, what about the white on the trees? So she stays in the RV that's on the other side of your grandparents. We visit Graham's. Oh, lots of renovations. I love a renovation house. So you don't like the dye for the shape of the tree. So did Juju say the same thing, the white on the trees? So you think I need to fussy cut these? They weren't that bad to fussy cut, actually. So I can certainly do that. And you figure even this tree, the dye there only went out, you know, around these big branches. Sometimes they're a lot more detailed. But other times not. Yeah, my house is usually in some status of renovation. All right, so we can fussy cut these if you don't mind watching. I didn't think these were too bad because I didn't go real tight around the needles. You can see how I did these. I think that was close enough, hopefully. My little Riley loves to fussy cut, and I'm serious. She loves to use her scissors and fussy cut. And she does pretty good. She did some fussy cutting on the little treat packaging we did for her teacher. We didn't do any fussy cutting on the packaging for her friends, but for her teacher we did. We made the teachers a little more special. We like to make things when they have different events going on at the school. And I got to get a few things made. I've got a craft fair in 2 weeks. And I have a gathering on Thursday. And I got stuff going on at the college where I'm retired from, but I still do some instructor training. So, yeah. Does that look better with it fussy cut? Okay. Fussy cut it is. Yeah, I'm hoping she'll remember some of these things because she loves to craft with me. And like I said before, well, not tonight, but I've said it other times. She's been crafting with me since before she was 3. So I don't think it was when she was in her early months of being 2, but as she got closer to 3, those are the first pictures I have of her stamping. And it's just really fun to look at those. Sorry if you can't see what I'm doing, but that's the problem when I don't know if it makes a difference that I'm left-handed. At some point, you gotta have the right hand in the way too, right? Either way. So, but I moved the table out of my studio crafting space because I passed that along to somebody else because I have 2 new tables that are a little more low profile than what I had. And so right now the center of my crafting space is empty. And Riley and I had it filled, absolutely filled with all of the things to make her treat packaging for her class. We were spread out sitting on the floor. And that was fun too, because every once in a while I had to get up off the floor just so I was sure I could. I didn't want to call Mr. Paul and say, help me up off the floor. So you couldn't get the paper out of your die? Did it come out? You pulled her, Riley. She loved that. She thought it was great. Sometimes it takes a few hits for me, but it's better than sitting there sometimes and just poking and poking and poking. And I actually saw another demonstrator do that, I don't know, some time ago. And I've been doing it. And Riley must have seen me at one point, and she tries to copy the way I do things. Well, I want to be like you, Grandma. And that just warms my heart. And I'm hoping it'll help her in school. They usually say kids that are doing, you know, extracurricular activities like sports and art, music, that sort of thing, that they do better in school. So hopefully it'll have an impact. So did you do that on one of your lives, Juju, or is that all pre-stuff you do? Because I've not seen you use a die on your lives. You're always, you know, like painting and putting things on pages and putting pages together and trimming them. So I imagine like the sewing and stuff you do off camera. Pre-stuff, yeah, okay. Almost done. I think they do look better. Fussy cut. This bundle actually coordinates with that modern Christmas paper that I've used. And I think it was just kind of more designed to be more like industrial with just the straight lines on it. But having them fussy cut will also give us more visibility of that ribbon. So let's do some of this weaving here. And hopefully I haven't ruined it by putting the holes in here. It's getting to be that time of year when my fingers get very dry and sore, and then they get cracked on the edges. And putting lotion on doesn't usually help. Sometimes I just have to use super glue and glue the cracks on my fingers closed. All right, if we get those straight, these will probably, I think I'll have these wrapped under. Oh, what did I do wrong here? Let me fix this, because that should go over the top. Because I want it to attach to the back. There we go. All right, so that'll be tucked. That'll be tucked. These will be down flat with a little bit, just a hairline of space between them, I think. And then these we'll put on dimensionals. There we go. I had these all cut, but I didn't cut all the way around. I have tried O'Keeffe's. And I've even tried the foot stuff because I don't like to wear shoes and socks if I don't have to. I wear like athletic slides, if that's what you call them, because I don't like my toes confined. So I would wear sandals all year if I didn't live in a wintry climate. But yeah, the O'Keeffe's doesn't do anything for me. Part of it is, I think, because I have such sensitive skin. A lot of times I'll break out from things. The O'Keeffe's I do not break out, but it makes my skin softer, but it doesn't keep them from getting less dry. All right, so there's that. Now let's do this. I'm just going to slide this over a little bit. And then we'll do this. And I don't know that I've used the foot cream for my hands. I've used the hands for hands and the foot for foot, but I haven't used the foot for hands. Will I get like hoof and hand disease, like hoof and mouth disease, only different? Probably not. I'll have to try that. I have some upstairs, so I will try that. All right, we're going to do this in black. Let me go get my embossing powders. And of course, the black was the very bottom one. The black was on the bottom, of course. I have used olive oil, but I've not used Crisco. Because if I use Crisco, then I'll have to put like mittens and socks on. The olive oil, I can usually let it marinate on my skin. All right. Little embossing buddy here. A little bit of Versamark. The one in the can, yeah, that's the only Crisco I use. The solid shortening you're talking about, right? Otherwise, I use olive oil or avocado oil. All right, and I'm gonna go away from the edges just so I can have space to trim, because I'm guessing I won't have it straight, because that seems to be how I roll. Oh, and then I thought I had a little spoon here, but I don't. All right. We'll just scoop it up that way. Let's put a little bit more on here. Sometimes I end up putting it on here twice because when I flick off the extra, it leaves, some of it comes off. So let's just see how this looks. I think that'll be all right. All right, here we go. Emboss away. There we go. All right. Then we can trim this up and hopefully it'll be straight. Juju, I think we lost everybody. Maybe it was the talk of calluses and feet. That's pretty straight, I think. I probably should have gotten a little bit closer there. I wonder if I can do it without ruining it. There we go. Close enough. Oh, Donna's still here. Okay. It just looks like there's only a couple people on the number that I see, and it usually includes me. That's nice. Those of us that have worked in the medical profession, none of that stuff bothers us. I think I told the story of how I figure I came to gravitate to medical, you know, fire, EMS, police stuff. When I was a kid and I fell in the middle of the street and we went to get it fixed after a very long wait, like hours and hours of wait, and I needed 22 stitches in my knee. I wanted to keep sitting up and watching and they wouldn't let me. Oh, I'm not going to take that off yet because it's not ready to get stuck on there. I use those adhesive strips on this because it's narrow. But this will go here-ish. I'll tuck this under here again a little bit better maybe. I want to get that lined up and I want to be able to put my head over the top of it so it looks kind of decent, hopefully. So that'll kind of look like this. The ribbon will be straight. I could probably put this a little lower so we can see the ribbon, or maybe I'll put it on the top and then you won't see the break in the ribbon. Probably like that. And then I'll put a bunch of the rhinestones and I'll probably put them in red like we did on these cards. Oh, so Donna, yeah, that's why you're not afraid either. You probably hear it all, right? All right, so that'll be that, and I'll put some gems on there. Yes, they will definitely be red gems like these. All right. So, and I'll try to keep it classy or sophisticated. All right. And then I have one more. So that's not too bad as far as time. I have one more that will kind of lay out. And I will finish this, and at some point, probably not tomorrow, because tomorrow I've got just stuff all day long. So So I have to work with an instructor at 10 o'clock. I have to be at another college location at noon for another instructor, and I have to observe him for his whole class, which goes into the evening. And then from there, I have to go for time for the Tata exam. And then I get to come home, and who knows what I'll have energy for at that point. So, yeah, it's going to be a long day. So you can kind of look where I'm going here, right? So here is that same embossing folder that we did here. All right. I embossed them separately. I didn't do them at the same time and cheat, if you will. So this is going to go on here, and I'm going to do it flat. And I think I'm going to keep it real close to the edges again. Yeah, the sofa might find me on it. And the problem is when I sit down is when I shut down. So even if I sit down to try to read, it's just like, okay, let's read that page for the 6th time. All right. So this is going to go on here. So I may as well just attach it because I don't think I'm going to do anything different with this at all. So I'm going to go ahead and use my multi-purpose liquid glue. Yeah, and I'm retired. I'm retired. My husband said, why don't you just give up that American Heart stuff? So that's in my future. And I have gone to foreign country with our Rotary group. I'm not part of the Rotary, but I've gone with the group to provide CPR training internationally, which was kind of fun. Done that for 3 years, and this next year I opted out. I need a break because it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of travel to go from, village to village and teach the lay people and their community health workers, and they're wonderful people, but it's a lot. All right, so that's going to go there. And then with this branching out, where did I put branching out? Branching out is here. So I use this die here. I think you can probably see it. Tuesday is better for me. Wednesday's not too bad. And then Thursday I'm having my ghouls night. So I have to finish getting ready for my ghouls. So this is the die that I've made all of these little pine boughs with. All right. So we are going to make a wreath with the pine boughs, because I have not cracked the seal on my embossing folder wreath yet. And I need to do that. I need to, I wasn't able to do the craft class, the virtual craft class live. So I need to do that on the replay. And see the fun things they made. So I have made all of these little branch pieces, and we're just going to circle them around and make a wreath. Is that how I did it? Or did I go the other way? Yeah, this will work. I'm trying to think, do I have my stems covered up? So I want to kind of lay these out. No, I think I did go the other way, because these are laying the other way. So we're going to go this way up. I don't think it really matters, but in my left-handed brain, it kind of wants me to go this way. So I did these pine boughs in 3 different colors. I used Mossy Meadow. I used Pretty Peacock. And then, oh, there's another little piece here that didn't come out. I used Mossy Meadow, Pretty Peacock, and Garden Green. And Garden Green is this one. You can't tell a whole lot of difference, but I wanted just some little different shades going on. You're right, yes. I did die cut all of these because I hadn't broken the seal on embossing folder yet. Yes. You don't have to understand my logic. You just have to laugh at my logic. And I'm not really saying it was logical. It's just like I wanted to save that for the virtual class. I was holding out. But it was a little therapeutic to get these pine boughs all done up. So there's our little wreath. So those I should have used, well, no, I take that back. I was going to say I should have used, yeah, nod and smile. I'm guessing you've done similar things. So anyway, I could have used my adhesive sheets for these, except that I want some of these branches, these pine needles, to stick away from my card. And if I would have put adhesive sheets on all of that, then they would stick. They would all be flat, and that's not what I wanted. So when I lay these out to glue them, I am going to put glue on, and I'm going to let that glue set so that it's clear, so that it becomes repositionable like a little ephemera sticker. And then I can tuck some of these ends in. And then I am going to figure out what sentiment to put on here. And we will put some more rhinestones as if they are ornaments on our wreath. And I think 'tis the season might look nice in there. What do you think? If I do it on a little circle, I'll get a little circle punch. Yeah, who wants to take the easy option, right? Let me go get a circle punch that this might fit. I could have pulled out all of my little punch templates. I'm going to do the 2 1/4. Because any of my other circles are probably going to be too small. And the circle that I put on here might actually hide some of my branch ends anyway. Oh yeah, cling wrap would probably work too, huh? So if I put the cling wrap on here, flipped it over, and then I could just glue around it, is that what you're saying? Because that's when we did cling wrap. I actually have a box of it. It's a, well, I don't know. Are you talking about just cling wrap or this press and seal? Because this press and seal was pretty cool too. I don't even know if they still sell it. But it's tacky on there, so you put it on your stuff and then you can lift it off and put your adhesive on there. Yes, we could do that. So I think what I want to do with this, let me go get my clear embossing powder because I want to do this in red, but I want to have it clear embossed so that it's shiny because I think it needs to be shiny. Okay, where is my clear? We may not be able to do clear, right? All right, thought I had it out. Where, oh, where is my clear? I guess we won't be able to do that. We'll just do it in red and then I'll redo it later. Well, at least you can get it on Amazon. Do you have Amazon Prime there so that you don't have to pay for shipping, or do you have to? Okay, oh, here's my clear. Phew. Found it. I knew it was here somewhere. And I wonder Press and Seal is a Glad product. Because we have Ziploc, which is SC Johnson, a family company. But this is Glad. It used to be called Johnson's Wax. I don't know if you're familiar with it. So yes, you have Prime. So you could, do you still get fast shipping though? Because my stuff, a lot of times if I order it, it's here the next day. But we also have a distribution center, maybe like within 25 miles of us. All right, so here's what we're doing. We're doing a little bit of embossing buddy. Let's move this up so I'm in camera. I might not be in camera. We're going to do some of our embossing buddy. So Glad wrap, like what I would call saran wrap. Because we have Glad wrap and we have saran wrap, just the clear stuff that you can put and it clings to the glass bowls. But that Press and Seal actually clings to stuff. All right, so I'm going to put Versamark on my stamp. And then I'm going to put red on my stamp. And then I'm going to stamp my stamp. And then I'm going to put clear powder on my stamp. And again, I didn't bring over a spoon. And I hope that I read this right, that it's clear. Whew, it's clear. And because it's clear, I don't have to worry about anything that didn't come off like it was supposed to. And we'll do this again. Beautiful. Hopefully you can see the shine on there. And then we'll punch this out. We'll trim it down because it's too, maybe if I go this way. Nope, it's still too big. So let's just trim this down a little bit. There we go. All right, and then let's cover my ink. So I think what I want to do with this is have this under so this can go here. We'll actually do this. The cling wrap would have been perfect for there. But this is kind of how it's going to look. I'll get that all attached. And then we'll put some red rhinestones all over this as well. That'll look more like a wreath when I'm done. It will. It'll look more like a wreath when I lay them all on there. All right, but you get the idea. So I will post these on my Facebook page when I have them all together, maybe Tuesday. I don't know. That looks a little wonky now, but I promise it's going to look better when I'm done. Get this out of the way, and that's all I'm doing for tonight. I'm laying these out. Let's see. If you made that, it'd be a $12 card. Well, when you figure the dies and the stamps and the paper, it's, if you only make one, it's more than $12, but don't tell anybody. Don't tell. I'm looking for some scrap. Chamois. I lost my train of thought what I was going to do. Yeah, you have to, if you're selling them, you have to price them for what they're worth. You know, you put a lot of time into them, and if you underprice them, you're just devaluing what we all do. I try to sell them reasonably so that people will buy them, but that looks wonky, but it'll look better when I have it done. Or that might work too. I could actually put, I was just counting the time. Yeah. So let's do this once. I'm going to take this back out. Those were really pretty when I first had it laid out. Now I'm going to save this because it's got the words on it, but we could do something like this too. And that can go on there. I think that's going to look better. That's what I'm going to do. It looks more finished that way. See, you know, it just takes a little bit sometimes for the creative juices to flow. And then, let's see if I have, ooh. So this is with the Modern Christmas. We've got this gold and white. Yep, gold and white. So what I'll do with this is, I did this with a gift card holder recently. I will probably put this on a needle though, and we'll just sew it and make a border. So it'll be wrapped around there. So I'll just do that on plain red so I'm not wasting that. And then we'll wrap that around so that'll be glitzy. And then I'll put some rhinestones on there besides. And probably like a little bow somewhere. It'll be pretty. All right, so that's it. That's all we got. So I got one card put together. 2 other cards laid out. Use your imagination. And here we go. So I guess I'm going to move this one over here because it's attached to the twine. We're going to go like this. Yeah, and I did that with ribbon. Let me go get it. I did these gift card holders, and I used that same die, and that's from the Spotlight on Nature dies. Whoops, there went one of my punches. It's all good. Spotlight on Nature dies is what I used for that outer circle. but I put this is now, I think it's now retired and it's all gone. But I did it in 2 versions. And I just thought it really stepped up the card. So these are gift card holders, but there's a video on these. But anyway, that's that. Let's pick up my poor little punch. It survived. All right. So, like I said, I'll finish these off. I'll put them on my Facebook page, Laura's Little Bit of Crafting. Feel free to pop over there. Give me likes there. I like that as well. And if you are on Facebook and you want to add a picture of something that you've created that maybe these inspired you to do, let me scooch these over a little bit. Now I just messed that up. But there. I think that's on there a little bit better now. All right, but you get the idea. These are getting a little wonky. There. Pretend they're perfect. Pretend they're perfect in every way. All right, so thanks for joining me, everybody. I appreciate the interaction. It's nice having people to chit-chat with while we craft. Hopefully you've been inspired to create as well. And until next time, happy crafting.